Well, Danny, you did well to rescue a point on Tuesday night. Does that give you a good platform to go into on Saturday?
Absolutely. I think we're never going to celebrate drawing at Fratton Park. We're always going to want to win games, and we're actually pleased with how we played. Just felt that probably just self-inflicted moments really, and second half off the back of a couple of individual mistakes, they kind of were almost infectious, and we had a bit of an erratic second half performance. Some really good moments, but some difficult moments as well. So there's some learning to take place from now, and the performance was far from perfect, but I thought the effort and the attitude and the application was excellent, and for my teams that's always a good starting place, and it always gives you a platform in games. And I think with the amount of effort and energy that we put in the game, a point was the least we deserved.
It felt like a sweet moment when Sean Raggett scored at the end, but perhaps a more important moment was in the 10th minute when the entire stadium paid tribute to young Sophie Farrell. Yeah,
absolutely. It was I can't remember a more emotional moment in a game of football really. I'd had the pleasure of meeting the family, of meeting Charlotte and Dad Gareth, who's a big Portsmouth supporter. I know he's a season ticket holder, and young Amelia, and also Lucy, who the older sister whose birthday it was on Tuesday. And I didn't have the words for them. I wish I did have, but just was amazed at the strength of the family. We spoke for quite a long time pre-match, and Charlotte just spoke so much strength of the fact that she wasn't willing for Sophie's life to go in vain, and they're going to work really, really hard to try to create a legacy and raise some much needed money for children cancer. As a country, as a world, we raise a lot of money for cancer charities, and rightly so, but not only a very small amount, maybe 3 or 4% only goes to children's cancer charities. So I know that they're going to do some fundraising activities, and we're definitely going to support them in that. And it was just great that the people of Portsmouth could support the family in what is such a difficult moment. And yeah, it was certainly emotional, and I think fitting for what is a beautiful young girl. Both Charlotte and Gareth spoke so fondly of Sophie and how positive she was, even in the darkest moments. And listen, we all have to believe that she's now in a better place. And our love goes to the family, and we're going to continue to support them through this period.
Yeah, well said. Looking at Charlton, what do you make of their start to the season?
I think they have a very experienced manager. I think they are a new group, probably recruited a lot of their players to the back end of the transfer window. As a consequence, maybe didn't have that pre-season to be able to bed down their ideas and their principles and the way that they wanted to play. Sometimes when new players come in at the back end of a window, that kind of changes things. Players come in with their own playing personalities and their own profiles, and that just tweaks the way that they want to play. And I think they now have a really good squad, full of experience, full of really good players. And I've no doubt that they're gonna find some form, and will be a top team in this division. But at the moment, they're just trying to find their way.
And looking at yourself, you obviously employed the new system on Tuesday. Is that what you're going to be sticking with?
Yeah, I think for us the formation changed on Tuesday. The principles certainly didn't. I was really pleased with how we pressed the ball. I thought we pressed it with a huge amount of energy and intensity. I thought, led by Johnny Marquez and Ronan, and also Marcus Harness, I thought they were terrific in terms of the energy that they got at the top end of the pitch, and we forced Plymouth constantly to go long, and then we were able to deal with the first and pick up the seconds, and that gave us a good control in the game. I think every opponent is different, and Charlton certainly play with a different style and a different formation. We know that they have real direct threat with Jayden Stockley, and they like, when Jayden plays, they like to go into him very quickly, and then get crosses in the box. We also know on Tuesday night he didn't play, and then they played with a real counter-attack threat, and with a lot of pace in their team. So they have two different ways depending on the personnel available. I think for us, it's to make sure that we set up and find the best way for us to find a positive result on Saturday.
Yeah, because Charlton, they do have a deep squad. Does that make them slightly more difficult to predict?
I think so. I think you look at their squad on Tuesday, and they're obviously 18 travelled to Gillingham, of maybe 7 or 8 stayed behind and trained, and we're talking about real senior players, boys that have played in the Premier League. So yeah, they've got real depth to their squad, and naturally when you're playing against teams with real depth, there's a lot more analysis work to do, but this is the nature of it, and I think for us it's to prepare as best as we can, and we take a lot of confidence and energy from the performance on Tuesday. Like I said, it wasn't perfect, but I liked a lot of the qualities. I liked the energy and intensity and the aggression that we played with. I liked the resilience and determination that we showed once we conceded the second goal. I thought we saw a real fight in the team and a real response, supported so well by Fratton Park. I thought, and I said this after the game, but I thought the supporters were amazing, the way they stayed with us, and they drove the players' energy. And it, we're a new group ourselves, and sometimes you need moments like this, like we had on Tuesday night, to bring everybody together and to create that connection. And it was only a point, and it won't really affect the win-loss draw column and the league table. But I do think that maybe in time it'll be that result will be worth much more than just the 1 point.